Let's talk about the UFC 298 press conference. There was a lot going on in this press conference. We had Morab bringing out the Mexican flag. We had Ilia, Topuria, and Volkanovski going back and forth. And Ian Gary. What happened to Ian Gary? Well, I'm going to break down the entire press conference. Just the big moments that happened. Let's start off with the first one. I mean, Morab and Cejudo going back and forth, and Morab bringing out the Mexican flag. That was pretty cool. I mean, Morab's one of the funniest guys in the UFC, so like to see that from him. Bringing out some more character day in and day out. I mean, this guy's becoming a star, and we need to see him fight for the title, right? And if he beats Cejudo, which I think he will, this will be, something to look back on, and people will start to cherish Morab moments like this, and I like it. I do. I think it's funny. He's thinking ahead, right? He's thinking of all the little things to either get under Cejudo's skin or just to get the fans pumped up, which I respect that. So yeah, not much from Anthony Hernandez or Roman Kopylov. And Jeff Neal, not really much too. But let's get to Ian Gary. Ian Gary was not what I expected him at the press conference. He was very cordial. Almost sounded like he was going to cry during the press conference, which was kind of funny because if you know anything about Ian Gary, this is not who he is. Maybe he's just putting on a little shtick right now, but I don't like it. Ian Gary should not be getting asked questions about nonsense. Ask him about, anything else, because we need more out of Ian Gary. All right. I mean, we had such a good build up to UFC 296, right? And now it's just like, it feels like it's died down a pretty decent amount. But people still hate him, which is a good thing, right? If you got haters, that means you're popping. And Ian Gary is more hated than probably anyone on the stage outside of Ilia Topuria, because we'll get to that too. Ilia Topuria and Volkanovski, I'll break that down. But yeah, Ian Gary should have been asked more questions about, other things, right? Not just, how are you going to beat Jeff Neal? We gotta get under his skin almost in a question, right? Got to get him pressed about an action, or even ask Jeff Neal a question about Ian Gary, right? We saw when Volkanovski was asked a question about Ilia Topuria would chime in. Perfect. I loved it. I love when Ilia Topuria goes out there and start talking shit, because we need people like that to start talking shit. Otherwise, press conferences are just boring and they're this routine and everything like that. And Ilia Topuria really did make the press conference. Him and Volk carried that, and obviously that's what everyone was there for, or at least a majority of the people were there for, that. And yeah, and then you would think another majority of people would be out there for Ian Gary, but he got asked one question. And that's just not enough for Ian Gary. We need to be asking him more questions at the press conferences. Get reactions out of him, because he's a reactionary person, right? That's just how it is, right? If he sees something that he doesn't like, he's going to say something about it. And we need more people to start getting answers out of the guy, because that's what's entertaining about Ian Gary, is because we don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. It could be anything, right? And he started off hot yesterday talking about Sean Strickland and everything like that, and we just want to see more of it out of the press conference. I think the press conference nowadays just ain't the same as it was back then. Reporters aren't asking the same questions. They're just asking, how do you think you're going to beat this guy? How do you think you match up against this guy? It's just the same old recycled shit that we hear every single fucking time, and I'm sick of it. Give this guy a question, or at least give Jeff Neal a question about Ian Gary's family. How does he think about the situation? Ask anyone on the press conference. It will get it would light him on fire. It would light him on fire, and he would go berserk, and he would just say some things that would be entertaining to talk about. But let's get on to what the real main event is, and the main event of the press conference. Ilia Topuria and Volkanovski going out. Volkanovski with the old man outfit. I love it from Volk. Just an awesome guy. And then Ilia Topuria takes his belt, which, this could either go really good for him or really bad, right? He could either, look back on this and become part of a, something that we look back as like, man, he was that confident way back then, or, he could just get humbled really bad and become a laughingstock. And it's do or die for Ilia Topuria. I think he's got more on the line than Volkanovski. I think he does, just because of how he's building up the fight for himself, right? He's already claimed himself to be the champion. He's coming out with a documentary right before he even becomes a champion. Volkanovski, right? He's lost his last time. He lost to Islam, right? Losing the belt. This guy's still a star in the UFC. Topuria needs this. Topuria really needs this, and we got a lot of great responses from Volk and Topuria. I wouldn't even say great responses, but just reactions and responses from them that were entertaining. Kept me, on the edge of my seat, you should say, but it was a good press conference. Topuria, taking the belt, talking shit the entire time, telling everyone to F off. That was awesome, right? You want to see people be villains. We don't want everyone to be a hero in the UFC, right? We want to root against people. And this is a perfect guy to root against, Ilia Topuria. Right? He's hated by a lot of people, but he's trying. He's trying to get a name. He's trying to talk shit, right? He's trying to build up this fight. And Volkanovski is too. I think they're both doing a great job of building up this fight. Putting on their personas, putting on their shtick, as you should say. Really building up the fight. And this is going to be a great... Because I'm more excited now than I ever was, right? I was already excited for the matchup, and now that we get the shit talking and a potential humbling for Ilia Topuria that would be on a massive scale. Oh, man. A lot of people would die to see that. A lot of emotions are going to come out of this Saturday's main event. And it'll just be interesting to see, who comes out on top. And I think that's a big question for everyone. Because a lot of people, they want to see Volkanovski win. People don't want to see Ilia Topuria win. But if Ilia wins, his stock goes crazy high. It goes crazy high. He'll still have a lot of haters. And most of the people that will know about Ilia Topuria probably won't like Ilia Topuria because they see the clip of him and Volk. And Volk is a fan favorite. But this was good for Ilia Topuria, right? Even some of the answers, they were the same. He was saying, "Oh, fuck you, I'm gonna beat this guy," stuff like that. And it was the same shit, but shit talking means so much in this game. It means so much. This is how you get money. This is how you get big fights. This is how you do everything in the UFC. And Ilia Topuria is doing it the right way. Volkanovski's clapping back. This main event's gonna be good, boys. It's gonna be good. This is the UFC 298 pre-fight press conference reaction. It was a good press conference. I'll give it a B+, maybe A-, but it was entertaining while it lasted. Need better questions from the people asking questions, and we just gotta get these guys riled up. We want to see entertainment in the press conference, and they did a good enough job. Ilia did his part, Volk did his part. Other people did their part. And yeah, I'm super excited. We're a couple days away now. Weigh-ins tomorrow. More things will trickle in through the next 2 days, and I'll be here to, get my reaction to it. So, anyways, until next time,